Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, night number 2 of the Cybergamer Invitational Ladder. My name is Ranconius. Joining me for tonight's broadcast is the one and only Nightfall. Nightfall, how's your Saturday been?
It's pretty good. I just had some roast chicken dinner and it was amazing. How are you doing, Rank?
Yeah, not too bad, but I think I've got more of a meal in front of me right here. We are gonna have our first matchup between Silicon, who are gonna take up your blue side on the pick and ban phase, and it's going to be Exhilirated on the red side.
I'm pretty hyped for this match. It's gonna be awesome. So let's take a look at these these bans. Already we see the Hun Bats. Now Hun Bats is a very, very potent early game and late game jungler with his amazing amount of CC coming out from that Fear No Evil, and his mobility is also very, very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, Sylvanas is going to make his way onto the ban side of things for Exhilarated, as well as Athena. They're going to be the ones focusing out on towards that ban list, and the Circuit as well, also making its way into bans. So 2 junglers, 2 supports. Psy gets to ban 1 class out entirely, or at least what they want to be gone. But that has left us with Bologna 100% open.
Now Bologna is very, very strong in that solo lane, mainly because she's able to sustain very well with her Scourge, that will heal her every third basic attack. So building a little bit of attack speed as well as defense can keep her in the fight for a very, very long time.
Yeah, absolutely, and she brings some nice bursts to the table as well, and she's just got the AoE protections there as well, but it's obviously going to be the Oceanic favorite pick. Ares in the support role, man. I don't know any Australian team who does not want to run Ares.
It's definitely a very, very strong early game. If you max those chains, they deal so much damage to the squishies, as well as that the Searing Flesh. It's the one that deals percentage damage of maximum health, which is actually insane when you think about it. So early game, it's very, very strong, as well as that late game beads popper. The No Escape is definitely very strong as well. Bastiette as well picked up. She is very, very good early game jungler. Her cats deal a lot of damage. They're very, very tanky, and they do slow as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other side is Silicon are just going to immediately pick up that Xbalanque. They're comfortable with that one. They're going to throw that one, I believe, over towards Just Rogue, I believe, is going to be picking that one up. But going to be the Barana special, the Isis, in the mid lane.
Ooh, I do quite like Isis. She is very, very strong. Her Circle of Protection can turn around a team fight easily. It gives protections, it heals when it gets detonated, and it also deals damage as well. And you can make picks very, very easily with that Spirit Ball and Wind Gust combo.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean, as well, something we didn't even talk about with the pick coming through the Xbalanque, it counters out the Ares No Escape ultimate perfectly. You just Rising Jaguar as soon as he looks to drag you back in right at the end of that timer. You don't need no beads in the early part of the game. You can, you've got all you really need to get in there and get around, but on the backside, Fonke is going to pick up Agne for Exhilarated.
And that's a very strong pick as well. It seems like they're going for a very, very early game team position here from Exhilarated. Agni's wave clear early game, amazing. His poke damage, amazing. And those rain fires really make that a huge difference. And we see the third ban actually is Ymir coming out. That's 3 support bans and 1 picked up. Well, obviously they need 1. So they're trying to take away from Freemason as much as possible.
Actually, it's Vark. Silicon had a little bit of a rotate around with their roster, and Vark is actually going to be their new support.
Okay. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I like to see role changes, especially within teams that have already been around. So it'll be pretty interesting to see. So the third ban for Silicon was actually Rama. That's mainly that's because 3 other roles were already taken, and it was between the solo laner or the AD carry. And so they chose to take away 1 AD carry from HS, and HS picks up that Ulla instead. Ulla, a very, very strong all-round god. He's very strong early game, very, very potent late game because of that exposed weakness. That's his 2 ability, increases his attack damage on his bow stance. Very, very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be a Guan Yu and a Sobek pickup. I'd be interested to see where they send the Guan Yu and the Sobek. We've been seeing so much solo Beck just lately. Nightfall?
Yeah, that can rotate that wherever they like. Sobek can go support, Guan Yu can support, and both can do the solo as well. That's very, very interesting. We're going to have to see when we jump into this game very shortly. Odin being hovered over. Odin? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's locked in. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have a cage match coming directly your way, courtesy of El Cairo's Odin. He's going to be locking you down, and when there are so many people in the cage, especially when you've got a Bologna, Sobek, and a Guan Yu all in there that want to get up in your face, that'll stop them from doing so.
Interesting. So Odin is he's very early game, and he falls off quite hard. Well, not quite hard. He falls off late game, but that cage is definitely going to make a huge difference because there's no jumps on the side of Silicon except for Bologna's ultimate. Everything else is a dash, so they're not going to be able to get out of that Odin cage. That's actually a really good pick.
Guys, we're going to jump immediately into our match. I tell you what, I just can't wait to see what's going to come out. Let's go back with a little bit of history on these two teams. Let's see how they qualified for this Invitational ladder. Silicon Sports, they qualified by finishing first in the Open Ladder, and then obviously had to fight their way through the Open Ladder Season 1 Cyber Gamer Finals, which they barely scraped into fourth, unfortunately, and Hitire actually knocked them from getting into third or any higher, moving on to day 2 from that one. And then Exhilirated, they were able to go 5-2, actually, with their losses and I'm going to say 3 wins, with 2 of those other wins coming from buys in the invite qualifier to fill up the 5 final spaces. So Silicon, one of the teams to get that early qualification, but we haven't seen much of them in a long time. Exhilirated, we know what they're capable of, but we also know that they have fallen down to a few teams, and one of those is Slap and Tickle.
Slap and Tickle went 7-0, which was amazing, as they were just a bunch of new players put together from Wizard. So that was very interesting. But on to the battleground of the gods. Here we go, guys. Silicon versus Exhilirated. I'm pretty hyped for this. Shall we do introductions, Ranconius?
Yep, absolutely. On your left-hand side, the picture... Silicon Sports coming out of the blue health bars. You are going to have in the solo lane. It's going to be the solo back of Top Notch. In the jungle, it is going to be just Rogue and his Bologna. At the AD carry, it's actually going to be Vark on the Shibalonke. Freemason will be your support Guan Yu, I believe. And Rana Barana is going to be on your mid lane Isis.
So the role changes didn't go through? Vark is on AD carry and just Rogue is jungle. Interesting.
Maybe there's been a lot more changes at Silicon than we even realized.
That's really cool, actually. And on the red side, coming out of the Chaos side, we do have Exhilirated. In the solo lane, it is El Kiro on that Odin. We have Fonke in the jungle as Bastet. HS247 in that mid lane on Agni. Aomos on Ula in the AD carry, and supporting him will be Prinzel as Ares.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, support Guan Yu. So now that we know exactly what the lock-ins are, we did mention that there has been a rather large amount of solo Sobek of late, and it's going to be a support Guan Yu because of that. Talk us through a support Guan Yu and where potentially, and why potentially, they're picking it up from Silicon.
It's sort of interesting. I only picked it up because Top Notch is on a magical, so you need another physical to balance out the damage coming out. It's very, very good at Guan Yu with Taulo, or very nice axe landing, and there are the chains coming out. It's Taulo Assault reduces the enemy's physical protections, which is very, very good, especially in that duo lane where your AD carry is mainly physical.
Oh, the mid lane Spirit Bomb's gonna land! Just Rogue finds the Scourge in first blood. Oh, Silicon Sports.
Nice pick up there. Also going back to that Guan is His ultimate is very, very strong. It slows for each hit, and then it will stun on the very last hit, even if you didn't get hit by any of the previous ones. So it's very, very good. Also, good sustain with that heal, and the Tower Assault does quite a lot of damage too.
Absolutely, and he's just going to burn through those minion waves as well, heal up all his allies. The meantime, over in towards that solo lane, it's a bit of an awkward matchup, something we haven't seen a terrible lot of. I mean, we've seen a large amount of solo Sobek coming through of late, and it's got sustain, it burns through a lot of mana. I mean, that's the real problem with it. But it's into an Odin, which is something we have not seen a lot of, regardless of OCE scene, regardless of international play.
It seems that Notch is getting forced under tower, mainly because the Odin wave clear is so good with those bird bombs and the hog, as we just see there. Top Notch is losing quite a lot of gold to that tower, unfortunately. So we'll have to see how this lane goes. So far, he seems to be doing all right, but we'll definitely have to see how that goes. And there's an offensive ward there by the speed buff from Exhilirated. That's very interesting. Oh, it just timed out, sorry. That was a offensive ward at level 1. That's why they 5-man grouped over in that Fire Giant area.
Yeah, absolutely. No real advantages being taken around the map right now. We've got a little bit of a pause. Mid camps are going to be coming up in about 10 seconds, and you already see the Ares roam. Prenzel, he's only level 4 though, so there's going to be no escape online. Just Rogue has hit level 5, so he's going to have an ultimate. Spirit Bomb's going to land on towards Prenzel, and down comes the Rana ultimate. He's looking for the Wind Gust for the kill, but he's incredibly low. Down comes the Eagles rally from Just Rogue. Does he have the damage with the hammer? He's one auto attack away. The Scourge hits, but it's going to be the Spirit Bomb that comes through from Rana. Now what can they find? A stun's going to come through from Fonky. Freemason's now here as well. Darkest of Nights to clean up and allow everyone to escape from Vark, and Silicon are going to walk away totally fine. They've found themselves a second kill Nightfall, and it's going to be one set of mid camps apiece.
That was very, very good there by Rana. He had to land that last ball, and he was able to time it perfectly there right at the end. Unfortunately, Prenzel was just out of position there, and Silicon were able to what's the word?
Capitalize on that little mistake.
That's the one, thank you. Yeah.
And Rana gets the base right here. Shoes of the Magi complete. I'm not sure how much bonus gold he's had in hand, but he's already a long way into his build with completed boots at just over 3 minutes. Almost 4 minutes. Going to land on 4 minutes right now.
He's 400 now because of that. Oh, 500? 500 gold now ahead of HS247. That's very, very substantial, especially 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, especially with Top Notch starting to fall behind in the solo lane. We mentioned he might fall behind. He's 300 gold behind himself, and the team as a whole, they're 900 gold up, so that means that they're winning not only in the mid lane, there's bonus gold on towards the jungler with the kill and the assist. There's nothing there for the Bastet already. Just Rogue's going to get tanky and still spit out a lot of damage in towards that mid lane. Opted for the Teleria boots here as well. It's because of obviously the new patch next week, coming out next week, that will put the nerf on the experience gain through those.
Right now, the XP is giving them 50, I'm pretty sure, 50 experience and 30 gold every 90 seconds, and a lot of move speed while out of combat. It's very, very strong. I see why they nerfed it the week after it came out. And we'll definitely see that coming out from Just Rogue and Fonke, as both of them have picked up those Talaria boots.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually on the god hit, and it's 90 seconds per god. So if you're roaming around and you boop 2 gods, you can get that on 2 separate gods. You rotate then to the duo lane, grab it on both those duo laners and find the jungler in between. You've got yourself 5 stacks of that one. Gotta wait 90 seconds around for the next stack. But you've just, burned a bunch of time, put some pressure down in all your lanes, and at the same time, you've gotten a huge amount of benefit for it.
It's very, very strong right now. So actually, Freemason picked it up as well. We'll see if Prenzel goes after it as well. Those will be the... What's the opposite of the Talaria boots? Traveler shoes.
Traveler shoes, yeah, absolutely. That one's going to be obviously for Prenzel because he can't actually get the Talaria boots. So be interesting to see if he does opt for those ones. Silicon have got the 2 men in towards mid lane. They're going to start heading towards the right-hand side. El Cairo will be spotted out here. They could be looking for the charge prey to come through from the solo back. They're going to come in from behind. Odin surely knows that something's up. Right about now, they're going to get a small knock-up. Darkest of Nights to come down, and the Spirit Bomb's there as well. El Cairo just gets out. Rana Barana finds himself another kill, and he leads the scoreboard at 2-0-1.
And that was just a very fluid gank there by two members of Silicon to pick up El Cairo. He jumped he jumped into the minions to try and clear them, and he had no idea that anyone was behind him, so unfortunately he burnt his only escape right as they were ganking, so that was very unfortunate. Mid camp's now picked up by Exhilirated, those on the right, and that'll be responded there by Silicon over in the left. 3-0 is the score right now, close to 7 minutes into the game, and the goal difference actually 600 now. Still,
absolutely. It's fallen off just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's probably time that we start talking about the ward control up and around the Gold Fury. Silicon Sports have planted one ward or the right side mid Harpies, but it's going to be the aggressive ward to come through from Exhilarated up in between the mana and speed burst, because you're going to get the timer on both of those. If you get one, Gold Fury camp, it's going to be the one ward to come through from Silicon, and one as well on their attack speed buff, one at the backside for their own attack speed buff to come through from Exhilarated, but they also just had one towards the left-hand side mid-camps just die off as well. They seem to be focusing all of their ward coverage in that area.
It seems that way, doesn't it? They just had one in Gold Fury, which unfortunately just timed out, so we'll see that definitely be replaced shortly, as Gold Fury will be the next point of contention, other than a tower and kills, which it seems like the duo lane wants, but
there's another duo lane of sorts roaming this way. It's the Rana Barana Just Rogue combination. They get a silence, and they're stun off down on towards Prensel. Do they have the damage? Darkest of Nights is here. No Escape's going to come down. There was the Rana Barana ultimate to come through. They've got the damage. Freemason finds himself a kill. And some support that's going to walk away with the gold advantage.
And they could do Gold Fury here. Freemason has Hog 3.
And the Hog 3 is now down. Exhilarated.
Yeah. Prensel just bought it as well, as he died.
HS247 on the Agni's first to use that Path of Fire to try and get out here. They have knowledge of this Gold Fury being started up, but Amos going to disengage from that one. Fonke was just coming out of the base, and Prensel, he's just respawning, so that's going to be Gold Fury number 1. They might get here just in time. No, Silicon Sports have got the Hog 3. Freemason cleans that one up. They get first Gold Fury, and it's a 4-0 advantage at the same time. This is starting to look rough here for Exhilarated.
It does, and now Fonke is going a little bit of aggressive. Uses just that pounce easy to get in, deal a little bit of damage, and then jump back out.
Ooh, mid lane though, it's going to be the engage to come through from Rana Barana Just Rogue. They want HS once more. Here comes the Rain of Fire. They're looking for a stunned ward. Rana Barana, he's getting so much damage dropped onto him by the Searing Flesh in the mid lane. Just Rogue's dropping extremely low to those cats. Freemason has rotated around from the duo lane. Finally, 4K will find the kill. HS will fly one back on towards Rana Barana. So the kill score is starting to level up. The Guan Yu not quite able to make the difference in towards the solo lane. Top Notch caught out a little bit as well. He's going to back up and totally get out of there. But there was a 4-man rotation as quick as you would like any day of the week. And finally, Exhilarated back on the board.
And that was a very, very good response from Exhilarated. They caught two people who just got Gold Fury and greedily didn't back. And now they're punished for it. 2 kills mid-camps, and they'll be able to take those left ones as well as those right ones now. Very, very well played there, Exhilarated.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, they're going to have the cage comp of Doom between that Ares into the Odin cage
definitely.
later on. No escape, and Odin says, yeah, well, it's not quite no escape, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
Man, if they ever find that wombo combo, they've got some real pain.
Definitely, and inside the cage match is the 3 lions from Bastia, which are scary enough as it is, but when you can't get out...
It's basically like an arena match.
Yeah. It's gonna be very, very scary for Silicon when they get into that team fighting stage, which will be very, very shortly, as I assume. In the next 3 minutes is the next Gold Fury, and that will definitely be a very good team fight unless Silicon can pick off the support again.
Yeah, absolutely. Just Rogue is certainly making some real presence known on the map right now. It's 1-1 and 3. I mean, he has that one death, but the Bastet, she's 100 gold behind. You'd expect her to potentially have a little bit more pressure here, Nightfall.
Oh, definitely. Bastet and pressure just go together like
Like pour and pour. That was a poor pun, if you tell me.
Please. So something interesting to point out is that Top Notch has got teleport, improved teleport, sorry, whereas Odin does not. He only has Hog 2, so that Gold Fury fight or any other fight around the rest of the map, Top Notch will be able to get to very, very easily.
Is that a Warlock sash coming through from Top Notch as well?
It seems that way. That's definitely what you need on a solo pick. You need the health and the power with it. Is very, very strong too, because he gets the protections from his passive. Landing a successful basic attack gives him a stack of protections to a maximum of 3 stacks, and I think it's 15 extra protections. So it's okay, but the health is very, very good, and that's definitely what you want. And Fonke is actually in the solo lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though that tower is already being pushed, but it's going to be the knowledge to come through from the solo back. Fonke gets found out, jumps over the wall. He aggroes the fire giant. That was not a wise move. You were playing with fire, quite literally there, Fonke.
Oh, and Rana is actually going through the ward. He was forced to go around the long way.
Darkest of Nights is coming out over in towards that duo lane. Iomos is getting charged down by the cavalry charge of Freemason to go back on towards Vak, but he won't quite find that one. Prenzel's over here as well, and the Cats. Fonke really wants to put a paw in the right direction here. They want to go for the Tyrannide, the blink in, and the no escapes coming through. Vak is getting burned through. Oh, he's just going to get burst out by the no escape from Prenzel. And now it's going to be Just Road to get here. The Roma and Victor call to come down from him. And now the Searing Flash on the backside from Prenzel. He's going to be looking for some form of escape. He needs slows and lots of them because he's in a world of hurt right now. But the Cats are here on the backside, and Freemason's just going to get dropped by Fonke. Barana, can he find the Spirit Ball? He will. The Wingers won't quite be online to come through from Barana, who's forced to clear a creep wave. Rogue still wants to keep going deep on the backside. Top Notch finds a kill over in the solo lane, but now it's going to be HS and the Agni rotating in here, and it's going to be that Spirit Bomb to do the work for Barana. The Rain of Fire! Burn, baby, burn! That is one hell of a Disco Inferno, and HS makes a perfect rotation. Gold Fury about to spawn, and Exhilirated find 4 kills for the 1. They're going to put themselves back in the right direction.
That was extremely well played there by Exhilirated. A great team fight. All Top Notch teleported around behind. Can he get a kill? It's a one on Prinzel. That's the Hog 3 down. And now he's forcing HS and Fonke under that tower. Stops the Gold Fury. Wow. That was a great teleport there by Top Notch to stop that Gold Fury.
I mean, we were just talking about Exhilirated and Fonke playing with fire with the Gold Fury, but it's going to be HS. He knows how to play with fire. He's the god of fire. He's going to rain it all the way down, and now Amos, you're way too far forward. It's going to be Top Notch to come through and just charge prey him out of there, save his life, because they don't want anyone around this Gold Fury to even think about stealing it. Silicon, they find themselves this kill lead back level, but they do find themselves 2 Gold Furies up.
That was really well played there by Top Notch to stop that Gold Fury being taken by Exhilirated, and then Vart comes in and he starts off the Gold Fury, and they're able to take it there and force Aomos away. So they lost the team fight, but they didn't lose the Gold Fury, and that's really what matters.
Yeah, absolutely. But check out the experience graph here, Nightfall. The heck of Exhilirated found themselves 3k in the lead.
That is a very good question. I'm not actually too sure. I think it might be because all of them were in that team fight except for HS. He came in right at the end and was able to pick up Just Rogue there. And they shared all the kill experience around, possibly? That's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, that's really, really good there, and surprising by Exhilirated. They do have that XP lead, and now a tower to them. It's 100 gold for everyone on the side of Exhilirated, and 150 XP, I think it is.
Uh-oh, Top Notch's solo back is going a little bit aggressive, but in comes Fonke. Charge Prey will at least get him underneath that tower. The Razor Whip to do some damage, but Fonke didn't have a huge amount of mana in the mid lane. It's the dive. Silicon, they love to go aggressive. They showed it right there. Prenzel's looking for some chains. Got to get himself silenced up. Spirit Bomb. Now the Wing Gust, but it's going to be Fonke on the bad side. He's entirely out of mana, just dropping the Cats, and now here comes El Cairo. He wants to go deep underneath the turret. The Darkest of Nights. Perfectly timed from Vak. saves the day. Top Notch is here. He's underneath the waters. He's going to rise up in just a second and look for whatever he can. Look at the ultimate damage to come through from him. He will want to continue going aggressive when he sees health bars just drop like that. Wow.
That's a lot of damage coming out of that solo, and he's on only 30 stacks of the Warlock Sash. Imagine how much damage he's going to get off when he's at full stacks. Ooh. And he teleported right into the middle of the lane, right on top of 4 enemies. That was really, really ballsy, but he was able to do it and force them all back.
Top Notch. He just wants to go ham all day, every day, but unfortunately you're not a pig, you're a crocodile, my man. And the other team do want to turn you into a nice coloured purse. Who would be the person on this exhilarated lineup that you think would most want a crocodile purse?
I'm not too sure. It seems like Alkiro. he won.
Odin, the god, father of all the gods, he would definitely love a crocodile skin purse. Could you see him carry? Could you just see Odin keeps all the gods in check? He goes, look, crocodile purse. All the other gods would just bow down to him, man. That's how it happens.
Yep, definitely. That's why Loki is jealous of it.
it's why Loki is jealous.
Yep. Alright, so we do have a grouping here in the mid lane, except for Alkira over there in the solo lane, looking to pick off that tower, possibly. He actually doesn't have teleport. He opted to go sprint tier 1 and all almost
Anamurana looking for control in towards this fight. They're going to be the dive to come through from the Silicon group. No escape did come through. Fonky's going to leap back into the tower with that pounce. Down goes the cat call. Silicon all grouped up. Odin's nowhere near this one. Back gets set up. He's going to be in a world of trouble. That's why the Rising Jaguar is forced to get out of here. Odin's going to be coming in from the right-hand side. Silicon have no vision that direction. Freemason just to drop the ward right then and there. Odin's going to have spot out of that one, so now they know that this is a 5-man grouping under this tower. It's going to go down, and Exhilirated are going to find themselves another advantage.
And all the ultimates now on the side of Silicon, whereas Alkiro's Odin cage is still up. Will he go in for it? Vark is taken extremely low, and they're still aggressing on towards each other. Top Notch went in for that charge prey, did not miss. Forced Fonke to pounce. Rainfire lands on Runner Veranda, takes him extremely low. Now they're sieging for this tier 2 turret.
Yeah, and down comes that cage. They're going to look to box it all in. Top Notch goes deep and looking to whatever he can find. Path of Fire goes really deep. They almost will pick off Top Notch finally. This rogue barely gets out of there. The pounce back. And now the return of Vark. They're not going to be able to save this inner tower, Silicon, and it's going to fall. Nightfall suddenly. Exhilarated come from nowhere. Grab 2 towers and 2 kills.
Fonke got extremely low. He was on like 2 HP by that tower. And unfortunately for Silicon, did not go down. So right at the start of that, Alkiro was able to pick up that solo lane tier 1 tower as well. So they got 400 gold for everyone in the pocket due to that tier 2 tower going down as well as a lot of XP. So Exhilarated just switched on in that team fight and took up so much territory away from Silicon. Really well played there by Exhilarated.
Yeah, absolutely. The decision to dive, I feel, was wrong from Silicon. They didn't quite have the gold and XP that they really needed to get in there. And unfortunately, that led to them not quite getting this one. Gold Fury, not the Geralt Fury. That's not even a mob on this map. But Prenzel's going to clear out Vision, and the Vision is so heavily in favor of Exhilarated for this one.
And that's mainly due to the excess gold that they got from those towers. They can afford to place as many wards as they like, as well as finish off those items. Oh, and now they started off that gold fury, but
Freemason, Top Notch ports to the ward on the backside. It's a 4v2 right now, and Silicon are doing all they can. No escape comes through. Top Notch dives beneath the waters. Freemason will get dragged in, but now it's going to be Silicon starting to pile in this fight. Just Rogue is getting burned through by the Razor Whip dot. And the cats to come through, or was it? Aomos is now autoing him to try and finish it off. Eagles rally force defensively. The cage is down on towards back. The Rising Jaguar's going to do nothing, and that means that Agni's got his first kill of the fight. Can they burn through another? Do Exhilarated have what they need to continue chasing the cats to finally come down from Forky? We couldn't see him before. That's because they weren't down. Now they're doing so much damage. El Cairo finds himself finally on the kill board with a number in that column, and he's going to find another one on towards Runner Verona. They're going to donate it over to the fiery mid laner And unfortunately, Fornky's not going to be picked up for the Silicon Boys. Sobak's doing what he can, but all those stacks don't amount to nothing. Aomos goes huge killing spree for him, and Just Rogue are the only one left. El Cairo won't find the leap on towards him, and another fight to go Exhilarated's way. And this time, no 2 towers to take for them. It's going to be a Gold Fury.
That was an extremely good fight for Exhilarated. Actually, I feel like Silicon sort of made the wrong call to fight 2v5, sorry, right at the start of that. Just try to stop the Gold Fury. 3 of them were very, very far away and couldn't get in until the tanks were at half HP, and that's definitely not what you want at the start of a fight when your carries come along. So really unfortunate there for Silicon, and the Gold Fury did go the way of Exhilarated, as well as, was that a deicide? Close to it? 4
Just Rogue got out. Just Rogue got out.
Okay, so that was 4 Fug Fury. For Exhilarated.
Gold Fury.
Yeah.
That's a huge lead right now on this stage of the map. Silicon Sports, they need to find something, get themselves back into this one. Breastplate of Valor's now online for Top Notch's Sobak, and Sovereignty is going to be there as well for Freemason on the support role. 75 stacks, that's come through on the new patch as well, onto both their 80 carries, but it's an entire item ahead. It's the Executioner online for the Ulla played by Aomos, and it's going to be Vak, just nowhere even near that one. He's only got 1 tier of the Executioner, and it's gold. Actually, it's going to be a Fire Giant fight.
Ooh. And Alkira actually jumped in there, uses that Gungnir's Might. Yes, I got it right. So really interesting to see is Fonke picked up a Heartseeker, and now he's starting on to Transcendence as well. And that's definitely what you want from a Bastet, is to stay ahead in the substantial amount of damage that she puts out. You want Heartseeker and Transcendence. The top 2, I think, physical damage items in the game at max. And he's able to do it too because he hasn't died yet. And the amount of that they get is insane with all these towers down. And the Gold Fury just picked up right now, very, very good. It looks like Silicon want to go in here.
Absolutely, but the cage off might come through from Elkari. He's looking for the backline. Vark's already bursted down. The no escape's going to come through from Prenzel, but I'm sure the CC immunity is going to come through from Silicon. Freemason's doing what he can, but he's going to be the first kill of the fight. Pat gets the better of the man with the cavalry charge, so he's not even going to have that one online. And oh, Run gets CC'd on the backline. He ain't able to move. He ain't going nowhere. Vak's still alive, but not for long. Fonky finds another Fonky kill. Just Rogue is going to be the only one left alive with Top Notch, but Top Notch, you are a little bit too deep, son. You don't have the damage required to kill off any of that backline. And this could be our first Fire Giant of the match. Where did it all go wrong for Silicon?
Ooh, that is a very good question. I think it was that team fight in mid where Exhilarated were able to take the tier 1 and tier 2 towers, as well as taking that tier 1 over in the solo lane as well. But now, actually something we haven't pointed out is these rain fires from HS. They are on point. They are actually kind of difficult to hit, a little bit easier because of that cage from El Kiro, but he's landing so many of them and he's dealing so much damage. He's getting all his abilities off and he's up there. Let's take a look at the player damage right now. It is Aomos followed by the HS247's Agni.
And then the first one to come in for Silicon is Top Notch.
Yeah.
Man, look at Rana. He's solo down, and so is Vak. Whoa, what is Silicon even doing this game?
Vak is on 5,000 damage. That is definitely not what you want to see from your AD carry 24 minutes into the game. Unfortunately, he's just been picked off and zoned out of the fights, and he's got 0 kills, so he has no stacks on that passive. So very unfortunate for him there. And actually, Aomos hasn't died either. The only people who have died are HS, El Kiro, and Prinzel. So Fonke and Aomos probably, I want to say the strongest members on the team, but because of because of the Agni, it's definitely in favor of that as well. But
well, he's the fieriest member of the team.
Yeah, he's on fire today.
24/7.
I'll leave the puns to you. So the AD carry hasn't died, so he's able to keep up in gold and XP, and he's level 20 right now. So is the rest.
Oh, stun on the block. I was thinking that they might think to dive deep there if they were able to follow up on towards Silicon. Over and towards that right-hand side of the map, though, it's going to be Solo back, actually, back over towards his left-hand side. Phoenix still looking for the engage. Silicon, they're just sat underneath this Phoenix, and sad poor them, there's nothing they can do, but look at the level disparity between the AD carries.
Yeah, everyone except for was level 20 on the side of Exhilirated.
Uh-oh,
and no one
down
is level
comes the
20.
no escape. Brenzel wants to go deep. They're going to find Freemason. He's the first one. El Cairo did drop the cage, so there was nowhere for him to go. And now the looking roster looking to dive on towards the backline of Exhilirated underneath this Phoenix. Will they be able to find what they can? Down there comes the circle of protections from Runner Miranda. The fight's a little bit chaotic, but it is underneath this Phoenix. Silicon might win it out if it goes long enough, but it's not going to go long enough. Look at it, almost so much damage. Joss Rogue's the only man left alive, diving underneath the Phoenix. Silicon are just going to get murdered here, and this is almost surely game one over and done with. Deicide, one Phoenix, two Phoenix. Could it be a 3 Phoenix punch? No, it's going to be the Titan and Silicon Sports. Well, I went from first seed in the Cyber Gamer Open ladder, losing their first game of the Invitational.
This is a best of 3 match, however, we'll see how they go in this next one, but very, very well played there by Exhilirated. They were down a few kills in the start there, but they were able to pull it back, and very good calls there. Unfortunately for Silicon, they are down 0-1, and that was how many kills? That was 21 for Exhilirated and 7 for Silicon Sports. We'll see how we go in this match 2 of this best of 3, guys. Stick around.
Yeah, absolutely. Do not go anywhere if you want to see a match turned on its head like that was seeming to be Silicon's game in the early one. Don't go anywhere. We'll have another match for you in just a couple minutes. Stick around. We got some sweet tunes for you all night long.